Good? Yeah, everyone's just like, yeah, it's okay. It's the last day of the con. Exactly. That's enough of you. Okay? We don't want to hear any of that.
Right, none of that now.
None of that now. In fact, though, it's pretty good, I'd say. Not bad. Give it a 6, okay?
Okay.
That's better than me.
Better than me, I can't do it either. Okay? I'm going Australian. Okay, so this is the, how to begin a cosplay. So, who's cosplayed in here before? You're cosplaying right now, pretty much,
Yeah,
right?
I don't have my mask on, but yeah.
Put on your mask and there we go. Who's new to the cosplay scene? You're new to the cosplay scene. Have you ever done a cosplay?
No.
Never done a cosplay. Are you thinking about doing a cosplay?
Yes.
And what's that going to be?
One myself something for
Okay. And how are you going about actually doing this?
I was just going to
Buy like a whole lot of stuff, right?
Well, I was going to buy a pre-made.
Oh, okay, so you're going to buy a pre-made. It's not a bad thing, that's a pretty good thing when you're starting cosplay. It's good to get into it.
And get some pretty awesome cosplay
There's pretty good places now, right? But pretty much when we're starting a cosplay, we have to like the character. And I know you're playing Sasuke. How can you like that character? But I do. I really like him. Okay, I like him. I still remember little young Sasuke, and that's what I keep hold of. Okay, all through the worst possible times in Shippuden, I'm like, he's gonna be cool again, and he never was. But
he was before.
He was before, so you know what? It's like Adam Sandler, right? He used to make good movies, and now it's not so much. But you go to his movies because you're like, I want to see it again. It's not gonna happen.
Jerry Steinfeld. He'll be a good comedian again, right?
Maybe, right? But we all live, we all live in hope. But the first thing I'd say is the most important thing about starting a cosplay is that you've got to like the character. There are so many people that are like, oh yeah, I'm just doing it because my group wants me to do it. And you know nothing about the character whatsoever. And that's fine. You could still pull off a pretty amazing cosplay. The problem is that you're not going to know how to stand or pose for any pictures whatsoever. So your group's going to get into it and you're just going to be sitting there going, well, I look good, right? I mean, your character could be insane, and you're doing this, and you're going, yeah. So, probably do your research. That's probably the most important thing. Do your research. Even if you don't really like the anime, but you like the character, watch bits of your character. At least that way you know how they act.
Like Cliff Notes.
Cliff Notes, right? Yeah. The manga. Right? But so that way, if another character comes up to you from another anime, you're not like, well, I'm not sure how to interact with you. Does my character like you? Or do we hate each other? And then they're like, let's do a fighting pose. I'm like, do we fight? I don't know. So I'd say that's probably the most important thing to start off with. I mean, you construct a lot of the cosplay. You're like the seamstress. I do the props, but this one is the seamstress. I mean, how do you go about when you start a cosplay?
I try to look for something simple, especially when it's your first cosplay. Don't go for the big extravagant. I mean, unless you really are looking to spend hours and hours and hours on it.
Or years.
Or years.
Spend years on it. Look at how excited you are about it.
But,
Got the Mickey Mouse ears now.
I know. Arcanine went to Disney.
Well, that's because I was at Last Man Standing. I had to earn my way on there.
There you go. I like it.
But go for something simple, not too crazy for your first cosplay. Don't worry about anything I guess what I'm trying to say, don't be worried to not spend a whole ton of money in it, because you can find some really good fabric at Joann's for cheaper than some of the fabrics you'll find online. And basically, don't be afraid to kind of tamper into all those things. Or foam is another great thing if you're going for any type of armor. I wouldn't suggest it for your first cosplay because that's quite hard.
But I mean, if you are going for armor, I mean, you don't all have to buy it.
Yeah, you don't have to buy Warbler.
Yeah, I mean, I know a lot of people that have used Warbler, and it looks fantastic. It really does, but it's expensive. That stuff is expensive, especially if you're starting out and you're like, I want to make a little piece of something. It's good, but it's actually quite hard to work with. Like, you've got to really like hone your craft on that. And as for a beginning cosplay, you don't kind of just want to get annoyed by it. That's the worst possible thing you could do, is start out a cosplay, have a really extravagant one, and go, you know what, I'm not going to cosplay anymore because it just took me like 7 years to bust this out. I don't have enough time in my life. So again, I would go for an easy one. I mean, that's pretty much what we did, right? We went for easy
We
ones.
went for pretty easy. I mean, Sakura is not too hard.
Yeah,
I
Sakura's
went for
not
her
bad.
on one of my first cosplays. I went for Sexy no Jutsu Naruto, even though I didn't do the font or the, like, you know, cloud thing. Didn't do that. So, we just did the orange shorts and orange jacket, which was simple and it was nice and it was a lot of fun doing it. And don't be afraid to go to, like, Savers and find stuff. That is, like, the most amazing place to go, by the way. If you're starting out cosplay, go to Savers, look around, you'll find some great stuff that you can work with.
You're not allowed to give away all that secrets. Come on.
You would. Deserve to know.
See, these pants, these used to be worn by a homeless person. I'm joking. I do look like a pirate, yeah, I like it.
SPCA.
It's funny that Mitchell.
Does anyone have any stories about maybe their first cosplays? Like the making of them? Yeah, go for it.
I have one. My first ever cosplay was No Face. From,
Okay.
That's
you know.
brilliant.
That's
Yeah.
really good.
And what I did was the biggest issue with that was trying to get a huge head bit for him, because I'm a tall person, so I don't have to worry about the height of it.
Yeah.
But the part I have to worry about is getting his ridiculous part here. And so what I did was I took, like, I had a Darth Vader helmet from like God knows how many helmets ago.
Yeah.
Took that and I used that as a base, and I took, I think it was about $15 worth of upholstery foam.
Boom, see?
Yeah, I
You're
literally
fun.
went. Yeah, upholstery foam. I cannot stress enough. Oh my god, it's awesome. But mainly because the moment I fall over,
Oh, it's quite comfortable.
oh yeah,
Do you fall over a lot in that cosplay?
I did in that one because I'll tell you about the mask. But the mask part for No Face, I just took cardboard and I was like, oh yeah, cardboard would be good, but I had to weigh it down, so it actually was decent. I had to layer it, so I layered in some paint, a ton of acrylic paint, like a ton of it, so it actually had dimension to it. And that actually, I wasn't knowledgeable at the time about how much weight acrylic adds. So I was actually falling face first a lot, which thank God for that upholstery foam.
Good for the foam, right?
Yeah.
Thinking
yeah.
ahead.
Not for that. Though, I think the best part about that cosplay that I liked was I did research the character because I love freaking Studio Ghibli. I mean, who doesn't? We're all anime nerds here, right?
Yes,
I'm
of
not- I'm not
course.
alone here?
Oh, no.
Come on, who doesn't like Studio Ghibli? I mean,
Yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
Studio
come on.
Ghibli's
you
awesome.
gotta love them, right?
Somebody
Yeah.
runs by the door and goes,
New service.
And then we'll all hunt them down.
Yeah, but I did that. The biggest thing I did was, and this is, I don't know, interaction or something with that. But I took out like coins. I was like, oh yeah, I'll get coins or something, and I'll give them to people. Because, you know, hey, little bits like that. And nobody took them. Because you're not supposed to take coins from No Face.
There
who
you
would
go.
want to? You get eaten every time you go near it.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But yeah.
You know, you'd be surprised how many people were like, No Face! And walked up to me trying to hug me, and I was like, you're lucky I'm not the real one. I mean,
I've got,
You would have
I've
yeah,
got
I
a
did not
funny-
have the mouth, but I did actually, a year ago, I met a No Face that did do it. The mouth
They
bit.
did the mouth bit too?
Yeah, it was two people literally like on each other's shoulders.
Really?
It was
Oh
awesome.
my goodness.
That's pretty imaginative.
Yeah, he was
Good
about
grief.
That's
10 feet
dedication
tall.
right
He was
there.
ridiculous.
And did they walk around like that?
Yeah.
Oh my
They had,
word,
like,
that
a
person at the
harness.
bottom was like,
They had a
I drew
harness
the
and
short
stuff.
straw here.
No, one person was
Bodybuilder.
really short.
Bodybuilder, he's just working out, just lifting him occasionally.
I'd be quite scared being on top of that. I'd be like,
Yeah.
Well, yeah, you've got all the danger, but I mean, just think about the
I mean,
shoulders.
imagine if
Yeah,
you
I will say cool thing about No Face, and I don't know, this is a bit for character choice as well. This has to do with the beginning of cosplay.
Yeah.
When you look at your character, be very careful of look at how, like, if you were to cosplay this, how disabled am I going to be?
Yes.
Because when I did that, I was like, oh, you know, and all my cosplays have masks. I just love doing mask cosplays. But the thing is, when you walk around like that and you have this vision,
Yes.
the tunnel vision thing,
I don't know what you're talking about.
that's the, yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. The vision here, that's a problem. Or like with, I think it was last year, I went to one small con for a day. I did Zoidberg.
Okay.
I couldn't pick anything up because
course, you got claw hands.
The claw hands. So when you look at a character, think about exactly what if they're going to disable you, how are they going to do it, and how are you going to work around that. I was lucky with Zoidberg that I had a handler to help me out.
That's
but
good.
if you're going by yourself to a con, like I am with this con, make sure you're going something accessible. I just took President Cthulhu because A, I already have this beautiful suit, and B, it's a pretty easy cosplay. A lot of people recognize it, and
you're probably going to get elected. I mean, just look at the candidates. You've got Hillary Clinton, you've got Donald Trump. You're probably going to be fine doing it.
Yeah,
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders. Yeah, that's true.
Sasuke, you said you were running for president too.
Hokage. I don't want anything to do with president. No.
But you said president. I asked her. I said you're running for president. And you said yes. So you changed your mind. So
How late was it? How late was it? Was it 11 o'clock at night?
Was it after the sake or before the sake?
Was it? Yeah. See, I'm with Tsunade right now, so
before the alcohol or after?
Before it or after it?
I don't know. When was that?
That's like Kanye West. That's what he says.
I hope he actually does it because that's gonna
runs
be
for it.
else. Because if Donald Trump gets elected and that's the re-election one.
Oh, everyone! No.
That would be amazing.
I'm going to leave this country. If Donald Trump gets elected, I'm leaving. It's done.
All right. I guess it was 10 p.m.
See, that's pretty late.
Yeah.
10 p.m. Okay. That's not
Grief,
true.
these guys are quoting me on 10 p.m. quotes. And it was
Oh,
probably
you should
like
see what I've
10:30.
done before. Oh,
He was half asleep.
I was half asleep. I was descending into
we can all
darkness by
agree
then.
in this discussion.
Right?
Back to the actual topic.
But no,
What
you
topic?
did have a good
Yeah.
point on when you are beginning a cosplay, think about how comfortable you're going to be in it because we know some people that have done cosplays and it'd be their first one and it'd be so uncomfortable and they never cosplay again.
Who saw what was it? Was it Heroes of Cosplay? It was either the first episode or the second episode, but I remember one guy did this crazy thing from Silent Hill.
Yes.
I mean, it looked
Oh, Carl.
There you go. He did this incredible thing from Silent Hill, but with all the arms and things like that.
It was season 2 of Heroes of Cosplay.
There you go.
There you go.
And I remember they kept interviewing him, and I think this is like a prime example. He looked great, he did, but he was like breaking every time he was like moving. Like the pieces were falling off. Granted, he only had 8 hours to do it, so I'm not sure how he even did that. Or why he did that, but I remember like by like hour 6, and I think maybe they were dragging it out to like prove a point, to go, hey, you know what? Can he sustain it? Can you walk around a con like that? And probably not, no.
Well, it's 8 hours of work.
But he was like, yeah, no, it was incredible. But I mean, I think even if he had more time, just the position he had to be in is awkward. I mean,
You got elevators, escalators.
you've got stairs.
He had to use a roller.
He had to use a roller to roll himself along.
An
So.
example of that was last year. I went to the actual Comic Con, the big one.
Okay,
And somebody was dressed as a Zerg. One of
that's
the Zerglings.
pretty impressive.
And
That's amazing.
the difficult part for them, they told me, was trying to run around as a Zergling was you have to walk like this.
Yeah.
with
So you've
super
got to be hunched over the
You
whole
gotta be
time.
hunched over the entire con. So for 3 hours they did that. Their back was, they did like an icy hot back on them. Like, I wouldn't do that myself.
Yeah,
I don't know how they end up in a walker at the end of the con, which would have been hilarious to see.
A Zerg with a walker? Oh, that would have been great.
Yeah.
The one that survived all of StarCraft.
Yeah.
All the wars.
That one Zerg.
Back in my day.
Back in my...
The Zerg Queen.
Back before you even had a gigabyte of hard drive space. No, that was great. But no, again, that's. I mean, of course, they've probably been cosplaying for a long.
Oh,
so you've
yeah.
got
I was talking to them. They were like 10 years of experience.
10 years of experience on that. But again, to do it at the start, even though it looks great, and you're like, you know what, let's go to StarCraft. Who knows StarCraft that well?
Yeah.
Somewhat.
I feel like we all.
So it's like, let's be a Protoss, right? I've seen a few people do, I can't remember his name, but he's awesome. He's got like the cape, the cowl, and like his like little lightsaber swords. Who's that? Can't remember his name. Well, anyway. No, it is StarCraft, yeah.
I'm a Zerg player. I don't know.
You fight against them, right?
I killed him so fast.
He's like, I didn't get a chance.
It was 5 minutes in, and I was
He's
like,
one of
"There's
those
the Zerg
guys
rush."
that just like builds a whole bunch of zerglings real fast and just rushes your base, right?
Yeah. I'm not that guy all the time.
And this is what you get if you know, vote for him for president.
Hey,
You
my
bunch of
Zerglings
Yeah,
will
bunch
be
of
the
Zerglings.
greatest force.
So I just saw a brook come in about 20 hours ago, and I'm impressed with the mask.
Thank you.
How long did that take you to make?
My friend and I made it. As you can see, it's paper mache and a few other various things.
Now, how cumbersome is it to walk around with that head up?
Hard, like you guys were saying earlier, tunnel vision.
Tunnel vision.
It's just problematic because like I mostly sweat from my forehead, so
Of course.
it's like I don't want to break the string, so I like carefully get my hand in there, like wipe
Oh,
away the
my.
sweat. But basically, we did paper mache with like the masks you could find at a party city or something like that.
Yeah.
But then the problem is those usually don't. It cuts off at the forehead, so we like put a bowl under there to make the top.
And you added more
and
to
then
it.
put the paper mache
That's
over
really
that.
cool.
And then I'm trying to remember like how we did the little pointy parts here. But
Just added
we,
to it with paper mache, did they?
Yeah, that might have been it. I think we just like made some tips and added on a little more so it would stick out like that. I mean, it's
So that's the
cheap bumps.
thing. I mean, the
And-
cool thing about having a mask, as you say, is that don't be afraid to buy the mask. You don't have to
But
make
yeah,
the
you
whole
could use
mask.
it as a,
Yeah,
as
I
a
didn't-
base.
Make it as a
this.
base.
Yeah, because
you know?
even then, like,
Yeah, like me, for
you
example.
can't
Yeah,
you can't get this job. Like we cut wire hangers and then laid the paper over it so we could get that weird jaw that he has.
which is crazy. He's got a crazy jaw.
I know, I was
Exactly.
thinking, I'm going,
Now-
that John's amazing.
What made you cosplay him then? Is he your favorite character?
He's one of my favorites. I'm trying to like break away from doing so many shonen characters because sure they're recognizable, but it's like for the next one because I'm here at the university, but then I'm from Vegas and we have Otakon Vegas there.
You go to university dressed like this?
No,
Go to class?
I don't think I'd risk it.
That would be interesting.
I would definitely go to that class.
But for Otakon Vegas though, like there's one character from One Piece I'm gonna do because I finally made a group of friends from Anime Expo that we're gonna be doing next summer. We'll be doing the 7 Warlords of the Sea.
Oh,
And
wow.
So I'll be doing Crocodile, and I got the coat.
You're
I
doing
just gotta figure
Crocodile?
out a few other things. Yeah, because he's my favorite villain. But then otherwise, I'm trying to like break away from some of the more shonen characters or traditional shonen characters. Like I'll still be doing. Admiral
He's looking at me going, should I mention Sasuke? I have no idea what you're talking about. Right?
I just mean like I've done too many One Piece characters, frankly, and there's too many of them, and I like them. And then
Well, 900 plus episodes.
and then there are
There's
other-
going to be a lot of them, yeah?
Yes.
And then there are
You've got
other-
material there.
Yeah, or like there's Naruto characters like I've done Rock Lee. I'm trying to remember.
Oh my gosh, that's
who else.
amazing.
Oh, my dream one is like to do Jiraiya. It's just gonna take longer to put together.
Yeah,
This
but
is
I
my
mean, it'd be
favorite
rewarding
character.
though. Just think of those
Yeah.
sandals though you got to walk around in.
I kind of think it'll be painful, but it'll be fun. But otherwise, like I'm trying to get towards other characters, and then even my friend is saying, "Oh, we should go to Comic-Con next summer because their family buys a bunch of tickets, but not everybody in the family goes each day. So I might be able to go to Comic-Con."
Go to Comic-Con. You're going to go to Comic-Con again, so that way you can see Zerg.
Yeah,
I don't know if he'll do it again.
Yeah, because I'm trying to go towards like other medias because like I finally after being ignorant for so many years I've read Watchmen now and now I want to cosplay Rorschach. It's just a matter of like you gotta find a brown trench coat, brown pinstripe suit,
weird mask things.
and I've got like the basics of making this stuff down. It's just a matter of like I gotta get a sewing machine and all sorts of things to eventually improve over time. Because I mean like
Of course. Well, I mean,
You
that's
guys
the
are
thing
gonna-
is, you start out small when you start cosplaying, and you just kind of keep amassing, and then you get a better sewing machine. Just keeps going from
yeah,
there.
I figure it'll like I mean hell the cane is just a spray painted cane. Like it's not the cane sword that he has. So I figure like next time I do it then I'll make the
There
cane
are
sword.
always things you can add to a
Yeah.
cosplay. See, that's the beauty of a cosplay is once you make it and you wear it the first time at a con, it's not over for that cosplay.
Yeah.
That's when you start learning and you're going, you know what? I've been in this cosplay now for like 8 hours. I could fix this.
Yeah,
I need to
exactly.
fix this. This is uncomfortable.
Yeah, which is like you bring a hot glue gun with you everywhere. Or
And then hopefully if you get some pictures, you can also see them and go, okay,
Yeah.
well this pose was ridiculous. Why did I do that?
Yeah, exactly.
Or
I was
okay,
one
that
of
didn't
those.
look
I
right.
did that.
Oh.
I had a very awkward pose in the beginning.
Here's another
cosplay?
piece of
It
advice.
was Sakura, but I tried to do a fighting pose,
Yeah.
and just the way I bent down, I kind of looked like I was going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
So-
So you're fighting like Sakura.
There you go. Haha.
I have scissors.
Have scissors.
Careful, she's sharp.
She's vicious. You've seen Sonade, right?
Yeah.
Yes,
I will
especially
say-
when she's drunk.
Oh no. There's
Only
one
when
thing
she's
about-
drunk.
I'm always drinking. What are you talking
There's
about?
one thing about poses that I got. This is advice I got from Adam Savage when he walks the con for the actual big one when he does his ridiculous incognito cosplays.
Yeah.
I got advice from him. He said you always have to think of 3 or 4 poses beforehand.
Yeah.
And practice them in the mirror in your cosplay if you manage to get it done beforehand.
Yeah, well,
Just
that's
for-
important because if someone comes up to you and goes, hey, can I have a picture? And then the next day you see them again and they're like, hey, let's have another picture. And you don't want to do the exact same pose that you've done
Yeah.
for them before. So it's like, it's good to have 3 or 4 so that way. And also if you have props, do it with your props.
Yeah.
There you go, see?
Use up those props.
See, the amount of time I've seen people that have had such amazing props and they pose without the props. They don't show the props and you're like, why did you have the prop?
Yeah.
I know it's tough in some cons though, if you have like
Oh,
a sword
yeah.
or something like that.
Yeah, you get like
You've got to be peace bonded to death.
peace bonded and then peace bonded and then peace bonded.
I remember when I went to, it was last AX, and this was funny. So I had my Susanoo, and then of course I had the Sasuke sword. I'm walking out, and I think I had the Chidori too. I think I was going
you
all
were
out.
stuck. You were
So I was stuck,
literally
so I was
stuck.
walking up the stairs.
A prime
and
example of not being able to move or go to the bathroom or eat.
I stuck it out for 8 hours. So I got up the
Or
stairs and this one con security guard comes up to me and he's like, is that peace bonded? And I'm like, what do you mean peace bonded? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, oh, the sword. I'm like, oh, the sword. I'm like, well, no, but I can't reach it. No, I can't do anything with this. And they're like, oh, I'm like, well, I know that you're allowing swords this year. I've seen it in the policy. And he was like, yeah, but that's a Sasuke sword. I'm like, yeah, they're like, we're not allowing Sasuke swords. And first I'm like, oh,
Sasuke
you're
swords.
another Sasuke hater, it's fine. And he's like, no, we're not allowing Sasuke swords. I'm like, why? They're like, because they're too easily, they're too easy to conceal or something ridiculous like that.
Bond, 'cause
They're too hard to bond, that's it, because you can like slide it off. I was like, yeah, but you're gonna see it. It won't have a peace bond on it anymore, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, well, can't you just put it around like the side or something? I'm like, I can't get it out. I'm like, I proved this to you. I can't move in this cosplay. So eventually he put it on, but he did the ridiculous of so he taped it, then he peace bonded it, then he peace bonded it. When we took it off, it was like torn all the paint off. We're like, really? But I didn't even get it that bad. There were other people that they were sanding their swords down.
Oh.
Like wooden swords, so not metal swords.
Yeah.
These are wooden swords that they were like cutting. They're like, yeah.
Bring a lathe.
It's just ridiculous, isn't it? I mean, it gets to the point
Yeah,
where you're
that's why you
like,
should always look at the con and ask people at the. Most
Yeah.
cons have forums. I know SNAFU does. Always ask about how they're peace bonding.
Yeah.
well, it was actually quite funny
I mean,
because
that's what you
AX
do.
never really knows how their peace bonding is going to go. They do release what they're,
Yeah.
no Nerf guns, things like that can't go to that anymore. But they did introduce live steel, which was interesting, right? Live steel, but no Sasuke sword. It actually says it on their thing.
I
He
have a
actually
personal
quoted it.
thing against that because I do blacksmithing occasionally,
Mhm.
and I'm somebody I can make an actual weapon that can kill a man, and me knowing exactly how those things work and how they were made, you can't make that thing not lethal most of the time.
It's impossible.
No,
It's still going to have a point at the top.
yeah,
Mine
and
can
even
never
if
go
you
to
dole
his
down the
house.
point,
I know, right?
Like-
He said can kill a man. That means he's tried it on it.
Well,
He
actually,
knows
that's
for a
fun
fact.
thing. I'm part of the USA Knights, which is martial combat.
My
You
word.
get in armor, you pull out swords, and you whack each other until one is unconscious. It's fun stuff.
I'm not going to that. Who wants to go to that, guys? Let that happen. You had a question, right?
Yeah.
I like you.
For wearable weapons,
Mhm.
do you ever have trouble with that kind of piece bonding?
What do you mean, what wearable?
Like Mega Man's arm cannon.
Like
Like an
Wolverine.
Oh, those two.
Yes.
We personally haven't.
Friends.
We've had a couple of friends. I mean, if it's actually part of the cosplay and it's attached to the cosplay, I don't see how they can really have an issue unless it fires something.
Okay.
That's the only thing I wouldn't say, even if it's like something to do with Nerf or something like that that you converted into it.
Like an
Just
Alistair's.
make sure that you put something, you know, onto the barrel of it, so that way they can't shoot it. Because they'll look at it and be like, "Oh, you can shoot," and be like, "Well, I've got no bullets." And they're like, "It can shoot." So
You basically have to gut the whole thing.
yeah,
Yeah, something I've seen people do with barrels is they'll take this is one that I didn't do it, but one of my friends did. They took a plastic or liquid cement, just poured it down the barrel.
poured it down the
and
barrel.
then-
Yeah.
Just fill it
Yeah,
up
so
with
that
oil.
way, as long as they can see that it doesn't go down,
Yeah.
you're okay. As long as it doesn't go down into the chamber, you're pretty good with it. But no, I've never seen anyone that's had problems with, like, you know, wearable weapons. Usually they're pretty good on that. It's just weapons that you can, you know, take, like the sword,
swords,
right?
bows,
Things like that.
scythes.
This con's actually very nice because their peace bonding colours are actually awesome. But
Yeah.
some cons, they don't care and they put obnoxious pink on it. And you're like, thanks. I'm like, it matches my belt. so thank you very much.
Black sword.
Yeah, black sword,
bright
pink.
pink.
That's okay, that's Orochimaru for you. I'm like, I spent 3 years with Orochimaru, that's fine. I'm used to that. I'm interested in that sword, so how long did it take you to make that sword?
This actually took about 5 hours to about a day because of the structure of it.
Have you had any malfunctions with it?
Nope.
No.
Nope.
That is a good, well-made weapon.
With foam board, man.
Foam board. See, foam again.
Yeah, foam is. I love.
Foam is
That was
everyone's
one of the
friend.
best things.
Foam board, duct tape.
One thing that I was really impressed with that sword is how symmetrical it is and how it's not bending.
Yes, thank
See, I
you.
see a lot of like homemade swords. They look great, but like when you actually look at it, they're like going this
Yeah,
way.
they got the little tilt.
They've got that little
Yeah.
tilt.
It's because of the duct tape. I really secured that thing with duct
Gotta
tape.
love duct tape, right?
Oh yeah, piece of advice for anybody that's doing a weapon that's a sword. This comes from both smithing and from doing wood shop stuff. You want to take half of the sword over here, draw the line down. You know, like when you were in freaking kindergarten, you did the little heart things for Valentine's
Yes.
Day. Do
I
that.
don't know what I'm talking about. I'm Sasuke.
Well,
I mean, hearts.
Hearts? What? are
Yes,
hearts?
what?
Yeah.
Don't even have a heart.
You know what I'm talking about, like butterfly, symmetry, all that junk. You try doing that with what I did a long time ago. I wasn't even cosplaying, I was just building it for a friend that was cosplaying.
You were killing people.
Yeah, no, I wasn't kill. I don't kill people, I just knock them out for fun. That came
I
out
don't know
wrong.
what's better.
Swords don't kill people, people kill people.
People.
The
Yeah.
man with the arm kills the person. Yeah. Yeah. What I did was I took the bit of wood, you know, the giant blocks that you get,
Yeah.
and I drew it out. What I did was because a lot of the times when you're building wooden swords, you actually do the standard, you know, I carve it out the
Yeah.
general shape. What you do is take the piece of paper that you have and just have it. You know, do the good old kindergarten thing, flip it over. It works magic. It works wonders, and
Absolutely.
nobody ever thinks about it. But that symmetry right there, and you do it three-dimensionally as well, because three-dimensional objects, right?
Of course.
Flip it on the other side and do it on the sides. A lot of people don't really think about it, but I've seen that I've done that before, and I've never had the weird bendy sword problem. I've never had it.
So that's a smart idea, but I mean, this is what I love about going to cons. You meet so many people with so many good ideas, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's the beauty of going to so many cons, is that you meet so many people with so many good ideas. Because, you know, you go to one convention, you go, okay, I've heard it all. I can build myself a mech.
I'm ready.
And then you go
Go and log in.
I'm ready, done. And then you go to another convention, and you're like, this person's got a really good idea too. How didn't I think of that? And usually the best ideas are really simple to do and cheap.
Oh yeah.
Usually they're the cheapest option, and they're just really smart ideas. Like, take that sword for instance. It's good. It's made out of foam. There's some
Made out
duct
of
tape
foam,
in
and
there.
then up here is a paper towel roll.
Paper towel roll, and it looks good.
Thank you.
It looks really good. What did you wrap it with? Is it leather, right?
No,
No?
artisan tape.
Artisan tape.
Artisan tape.
See, I can't see anything from here. It's like, yeah.
Yeah, you can actually see
You got
it right
contacts.
here now.
Oh wow. And see with the tape, it gives it that like
gives
rustic
it-
Yeah,
yeah.
rusted look.
This is the
That's
second
because
time I've
like
seen
it's
this
been
sword.
banged out with a hammer.
She was a winner of my Judge's Choice Award, so
Have you
champion.
guys, a question for you guys. Have you ever done weathering on any of your cosplays? Because I've done it slightly. but I
Are you
haven't-
saying like weathering
Like
with
armor?
material, armor-wise, or with an actual prop?
All of them really. I've had to.
We've
try
done a
to do
little
all of
bit
them.
with
Fabric.
fabric. We've done some weathering with fabric, to give it like a war feel.
Mm.
So some tears, some fraying there,
Taking
a little
like
bit of dirt,
a knife and
so
just
on,
kind
so
of
on.
going along the edges, rubbing back and forth to give it that frayed look.
Yeah.
Be careful if you do this. If you're ever doing like a burnt look to a cosplay, if you have a piece of the actual like fabric you've made it out of, to test it with the flame, because some fabrics go up faster than others. Or if you just have something hot, to kind of rub it against it to give it that little burnt look. And you can also use certain dyes to give it that burnt look instead of using anything
So
else.
don't use a flamethrower.
Do not use a flamethrower.
No.
Coffee is good.
Coffee is good. Yeah, coffee's really good for weathering. Yeah,
Yeah.
it
Coffee's
is.
God's
And I mean,
Sandpaper works pretty well for weathering on clothes.
yeah, it does
You
actually.
take it like on
Take
certain
it,
spots and just
stand
kind of
it up.
rub it on certain spots, and it kind of frays it in a different way that the knife would do. So it's like different textures you can get with it. So.
And of course, it helps having like two of the same costumes, so you can be like, okay, I can look good in this one, and then I can look like I've just come out of a war.
If you ever are wanting to do a battle in a regular, I suggest doing 2 different cosplays, because
Yeah.
once you go to the weather, you can't go back.
And the thing is, even
And
if
then
you
you
don't
kinda regret
weather
it.
it, and let's say you put, some blood on your face or something like that, and you put it on your, you can't really get it.
Yeah.
Pretty
Kind
tough.
of stains that.
Pretty tough. So it's like, if you do want to go for that look, I wouldn't do it with, your main cosplay, because then you're gonna have to remake it all over.
Yeah, I've done stuff like I almost was able to do a desert punk cosplay, but I was trying to sand weather it, which is such oh my god, that's such an advanced weathering technique. Don't do what I did. No.
That's pretty.
It's
yeah,
hard
it's
to
pretty
do because
extreme.
he lives in a freaking giant Sahara desert basically in Japan. So I was like, oh, I'll sand weather it. Sand weathering is the most difficult thing I have ever done in my life. It is literally you take sandpaper and you wave it over as wind would, and you try it with getting it like that. It is
That's
the
pretty
most
advanced.
difficult. Yeah, it is the most because it's the most meticulous little process I've ever done.
I bet. Beginning cosplay, everyone.
Yeah.
That's
This
pretty
was supposed to
extreme.
be maybe, yeah. I tried to do it. I had everything else, but I did that and I ruined it. So don't. This is
Don't
for
sand
beginning
rub.
cosplay. Don't go extreme because you'll end up doing what I did and ruining an amazing cosplay.
So I was wondering because I've got my list of dream cosplays to do, but what are good, and then including the brand name, good materials for armor and for swords.
Armor and for swords.
Yeah.
I definitely have to go with if you're going for a cheaper.
I mean, it depends. I mean, budget-wise.
Yeah,
Like,
if,
is
if
it gonna
you
be-
have a lower budget, I'd definitely go with foam board
Foam
or
is
some
yeah.
types of foams. EV foam is really
Okay.
good.
Is it just is it spelled in a weird way? Because I just want to get all the exact information.
Foam board?
No,
So-
so it's called EV foam?
EV foam,
Is it
right?
EV foam or Evo foam?
Evo foam.
I think it's Evo foam.
Yeah, and
I
it's
always
the,
say it wrong. I pronounce things wrong all the time.
and that's easier to actually, sculpt.
Okay.
As in, I mean, of course, if you've got,
Can you get that at a local store, or
You
is
can
it
get
something
it
online?
You could
at,
get it.
Home Depot.
There
You
you
can
go.
get it at some craft stores carry it. I think actually Walmart carries it in the slabs that you normally put on the floor. like the ones that hook together.
They'll cosplay with that stuff.
Yeah.
And you're talking, yeah, and it's
And
also the
then-
one that made the shepherd armor, right?
Yeah, you can use it
Okay.
for shepherd
You can use
armor.
it for armor and all sorts of stuff.
For the armor and shoulders, you can use like the thinner foam and just keep stacking it, shaking
Okay.
it.
And then if you're making something bigger, like one of them I've got, which will be extremely hard, is Guts from Berserk, because the Dragon Slayer is huge.
Yeah.
But how, because I know the pieces probably won't be long enough, is there a way to like maybe just paint over so it looks kind of like a seamless piece
Yeah,
of
that's
iron?
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can just
What I did was I did that a while back with the sword. I had to do it 2 pieces because it was Cloud Sword.
Oh,
Okay, the Buster Sword.
Yeah.
It was from one of my other friends. It wasn't me because
So
I
did
don't
you just
have.
kinda paint
I'm not able
over
to do it. What I did was because I had 2 pieces and these are wood shoppy sort of thing, but I glued the 2 bits of wood together, the 2 like giant chunks of wood, and once I glued it, the glue goes over. But then I took a really high grain sandpaper and I sanded it out so it evened out. You can do that with foam too. You have to be even more careful.
Yeah,
because
so
foam
again,
doesn't take
putting
a
it
sand.
together really tight and then either
Yeah.
sanding it out so that way they
Yeah.
kind of mesh together a little
Just be
bit
very
easier.
careful with foam because once foam hits sanding, it tears.
It really does.
Yeah,
And
so
there's
Okay.
different types of sandpapers you can get. There's like a really gritty one. There's a soft grit one that's probably better for the foam. I would suggest getting something like maybe a really thin piece of wood. I don't know quite what the prop looks
So
like.
does it just say like
Just to
soft
put it in
grit
the
sandpaper?
middle to keep it stable. Because you don't want it to where you have glued it
Oh,
in
so
the
I have,
middle.
okay, so I have something longer that will
Yeah.
connect
Yeah.
the 2 pieces.
Something not too heavy. It could be really thin as long as it has some
So it's
type
like a
of base
piece of
in it.
plywood or something.
something like that, yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be anything too crazy.
Yeah,
Something there to
medium
stabilize.
density plywood works really well.
Yeah,
Okay.
so something to stabilize it,
Alright,
so
thanks.
that way.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
has anyone else got any questions? You are like it.
I have a question. How would you go about getting a gun prop that piece bonding process for that? Because I was thinking if I wanted to look like the character's weapon, I wanted it to be fairly realistic, but creating that kind of prop is hard, but I couldn't buy an exact replica. That's not a real gun.
Well, how about this?
How's that
Why
for
not-
piece bonding?
Well, I see a lot of the best actual guns. If you can't actually build one yourself, I mean that's pretty talented. But you could get a Nerf gun. You can get a Nerf gun and then build on that shell. So there's the Nerf gun. Let's say it's a handgun, right?
Yeah.
So there's the Nerf gun. You've got the barrel. You've got everything like that, and then you could start building onto that, and use it as your base. Now, it all depends on the con you go to. There are some cons that say you need to keep that little orange part on the front, so that way you can tell that it's a prop
Or
gun.
if you absolutely need to, you can buzz that off and attach it later.
Yeah, so you can always do stuff like that, but again, it always depends on the con that you're going to. So guns are, you want to make it as realistic as possible, of course, to match your character, but you've got to have some of that. Or you can, again, fill the chamber.
And if you don't,
So-
if you don't want to use Nerf guns, if this is like a really weird way to do it. But I went to a I was going to Oakland for a game, which Oakland is crime and stuff. But you go to
With a gun.
yeah, no,
Yes.
you go to the
That's a
like
good thing.
really iffy toy stores in there.
Yeah.
And they have these really old, like from the 80s, 90s
Yeah.
plastic guns. And some of them are huge, but they're super light plastic. Like, one of my friends was going in there with me, and he bought this big, circular disc one, and I was like, what the heck are you going to do with that? And he said, just wait till next year, I'll show you. And the next year he came in to our hotel room with an Unreal Tournament saw gun. Saw blade gun
That's
one.
pretty epic. I just
Yeah,
like
and
just
I was like, well, this is what you were going to do with that little thing. So,
fully
It's
functioning Gatling gun.
no, it's like the saws weren't able to go out, obviously. But what I say is look around to random little stores. Thrift shops are your friend and all that junk.
Yeah.
99-cent store's your friend too.
Again, find stuff that you can build off of.
Yeah.
I mean, building one from scratch. So someone was like, "Here, build a gun," and it's like, "Well, what do I have as a reference?" And,
Oh,
and
reference
some people
images.
can do reference images, and that's also a really good thing. And that's what I'd also recommend too. Get a good reference image. Find somewhere that you almost a 3D reference image, so you can see that one. You can see the back of it. Has anyone played Final Fantasy, right? And you know how you can get those art books, or you can just see the art online?
Yeah.
That would be the perfect, these are the perfect kind of images, because you can look at it, and you can look at it from every angle. That's the most important thing, because there are so many people that have one reference image and they build it off the reference image.
Yeah.
But they miss like what's going on down here that you can't see off the reference image, but you can see it in the video game or the anime. You know?
Yeah, like with animes, what I did a while back with No Face. What I did with No Face. I didn't just use the original artwork, because there's the obvious amazing concept artwork from Ghibli, because Ghibli does awesome concept art. But what I did was I had it on my laptop, I bought it, and I got it on my laptop, I went through some scenes and I screen capped it.
Okay.
Multiple times. I think the best one I had was him for the front view, was him on the train.
Okay.
Because it gives you an exact, like, it says in the Ghibli thing how tall the little girl is. I can figure out exactly how big I had to make No Face, how I made it everything to scale, which is, if you want to be one of those people like
which
me,
is pretty impressive, yeah.
But with that, you just, screenshots are your friend, I gotta say.
Yeah,
Super
and any
useful.
kinds of real reference images. I mean, I know for your cosplay it was a little trickier due to the fact that you kind of combined two, didn't you?
Combined
You
in
had-
so many of those elements.
You had like two Genjinkas, I think, and then you had,
Genjinkas.
of course, Arcanine itself. And you kind of combined all the best
Yeah,
parts.
which is really impressive.
Now, I'm interesting. So, are you going to build off of this cosplay? Are you going to add anything to this cosplay? Is there anything you'd want to add, or are you just done with it?
Huh?
Or are you done with this cosplay?
I'm done with this one.
You're
I'm
done,
going
you're
on
like-
to different costumes.
What ones are you going on to?
I was thinking of going to do like femme characters of One Piece and going on to Goosebumps with Slappy.
Oh my goodness.
Pretty terrifying.
It's not the voice
Are you going to do any more Pokemon? Are you going to do any more
I'm
crossovers?
probably
of
going
that?
to do some more Pokemon. I was thinking of doing Virizion from the Unova region. Which
Okay,
is like
I'm
one of the
surprised you did.
legendaries.
See, everyone goes for the Eevees.
Oh,
So
no,
many Eevees. You see like
I
a
won't
million
be so
Eevees
bad.
everywhere.
Everyone loves the Eevee.
Everyone loves the Eevee
So
lizards,
yeah.
and that's
Yeah.
fantastic. But I think it's I don't think I've ever seen an Arcanine.
Are we gonna go around the room and ask everybody what their next cosplay is gonna be
Yeah.
or something?
I think so.
Last year, I was actually a Greninja.
You were a Greninja.
Oh,
Yeah, from X and Y.
That's really cool.
And I actually wanted to get a craftsmanship for that.
Oh, that's
Wow.
awesome.
Winning everything this one.
Yes, but I
really
barely
good.
had any. I wanted to continue with that one because the hands were the biggest ones I had. I had no hand controls of my hands
Yeah.
because of the
It's tough.
webbing.
It's really tough. So I think we'll go from here and we'll just go around. Are you going to do a cosplay?
I've been thinking of doing a cosplay for a while now, but I gotta get the body for it. I want to do a Wolverine cosplay.
Oh, so you're already getting.
I know you got the
I grew the chops
thing.
out
Grew
and
the
had to
chops.
cut them down for work.
Because otherwise, oh, okay. They made you cut them down?
Well, it doesn't exactly look good when you got a patchy beard growing in and you're in a testing center.
Oh, okay, I get it. I get it. So you're going to go with Wolverine, and when do you think you're going to be able to pull that off?
When I get my abs in.
In the mail?
So,
Or,
a year
just when
or
you get it?
two. A year or two.
2020.
I'll
Coming
do
soon,
it.
right? Is that you should put that on your Facebook.
I
Coming soon.
have a trainer, so
That's really good.
I can try and get a
Oh,
little bit
you should be
closer.
doing. Yeah, you'll get that pretty
Dedication.
fast,
Yeah,
man.
you'll look great.
You should do what? What's his name? Who's the guy that was Wolverine?
Hugh Jackman.
Hugh Jackman.
No, he like nearly killed himself.
Yeah, well, you know, sacrifices.
Dehydrated
Dehydrate.
himself.
Well, I'm going blind. I'll go blind by 30. So dehydrate
Don't
yourself. and then
dehydrate
you'll get-
yourself. Don't listen to him. Eat healthy.
That's why I've got
Drink
a
water.
trainer who's telling me don't do that.
Wonder what his trainer was. Yeah, go kill yourself. Go do it.
Probably not a yoga instructor.
Most probably not.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's your cosplay gonna be? Thinking about it.
I keep thinking Ron was told me, but then I started thinking maybe Jack O'Neill from Stargate SG-1.
There we go.
Yeah.
And again, a lot of people think it has to be an anime. It doesn't have to be an anime. I mean,
I've
as long as
only
you're-
done one anime, that was No Face. That's the
There
only
you
one I've
go.
ever
See,
done.
as long as as long as you're doing your favorite character, go right ahead. You know. So that's cool. We'll go back there. What cosplay are you thinking of doing? Or maybe not.
Actually, the only time I've cosplayed was a few years ago. Is Kino from Kino's Journey,
Okay.
and it was for a work party, and
You went to a work party like that?
Well, it was like dress up. So every month we have an event, and for Halloween, for the month of October, it's usually a Halloween.
Oh, that's
potluck.
cool.
Yeah. So.
Have you ever worn it in a convention?
No, because then later I found out about like the convention and started going, but I've been trying to cut down on the stuff that I have, so I got rid of it. But I think
no.
it would
Are
be
you
fun
going to make
revisit.
something else? Is there something in the future?
I really like that character, so maybe I might, because like the stuff that she wears is really functional too.
That's good.
So I might revisit it in the future.
I like the way you're thinking. Functional, that's important.
Yeah.
You should totally
So that's the hope then. Remake, right?
Are you gonna go with the talking motorcycle too?
Build the motorcycle. There we go. Yeah. We're beginning cosplay, everyone. How to build a motorcycle.
I have a
3 easy steps. If you could build a motorcycle in 3 steps, that'd be great.
into a toy store.
And we'll just keep going around. So yeah, let's go with President Cthulhu right now.
Yeah. Next year I've been kind of like between 2 different ones. I've been a long-term one I've had wanting to do for a long time is the spacewalk suit from Alien.
Okay, nice.
Which is, I've already got the armor bits down, which is the hardest part in a lot of ways, but also the part is the actual cloth bit. It's literally the same material you have oven mitts for. So it's going to be heat and stuff, and I have to figure out fans and junk.
So not anime expert.
Yeah, no. The other one I've been thinking of doing is, oh my god, why am I blanking on it right now? This is awesome, isn't it?
It's okay, I do that all the time.
Yeah, you're fine. Okay, thanks.
It's like, it's okay, everyone, just hold on. I'm good.
Yeah, I'll get it. It was from. I was thinking of doing something from Godzilla, the old kaiju bit.
Just do a Zerg.
I could, no, I'm not gonna do a freaking Zerg. No, that guy. I feel sorry for him.
I feel sorry for him. He put himself in that.
Yeah.
Right?
The only way I could go worse is if I did a tier in it. That's the only way I could go worse.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So you've got quite a lot on your plate then. You're quite a bit.
I've been wanting to do something a bit more advanced because I've done a whole bunch of kind of just cloth, or I've done basic stuff. I wanted to try to do armor for a while, and I've had to help my friends out with this because I actually know how to do this stuff. And I've helped them out, and I've done it with them. So I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll do something for myself this time. I'll try to do my own armor.
No, that's cool.
And
was that the 5-minute thing or the 10-minute? I can't see.
That was the 5 minutes. I mean, the 10 minutes. Sorry.
So again, not meaning to rush anyone, but I want to try and get around the whole room so that way.
Yeah.
So let's go with the guy in the white.
So the next cosplay I want to do, it has to be something from Vocaloid, because I'm part of this like, even though like I'm not really near SoCal, but I have friends down there. So the second convention I ever went to was PMX. I don't know if any of you have heard of it.
Oh yes.
So I got in with this like group, like they do like host cafe stuff, and so they have a theme every time. So I have to do something from Vocaloid. So.
Okay. Any particular one from Vocaloid, or just are you gonna try and do a like mishmash, or?
I don't really know. I was
make
looking
your
at
own
stuff,
Vocaloid.
but so I actually did have a question for Tsunade, because I think you said earlier you said you were like more the seamstress. So did you have any experience like doing that stuff before you started making cosplays, or?
Actually, where I started out, my grandma was the one that taught me how to sew. I started out making quilts with her, which, by the way, they weren't the nicest looking quilts in the world. Trust me, they had holes and everything. But I
Weathered, you know that weathered.
The weathered look. I meant it. But no, I pretty much started out from the bottom up. It was self-taught and other people taught. I mean, if it wasn't for my grandma, I wouldn't have known how to do a sewing machine. I learned things just by testing out the waters. I also learned things from other people from cons, friends, and things on the computers. That's pretty much where I started out from it, and just keep going with it, and you'll get better every day.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much. I think we would. Definitely. We learned the hard way. Went to cons, didn't quite work out.
Pros and cons.
Had plenty of Oh.
You just went there.
It hurts.
Now, there's different things you can do. Like I know that sometimes it's hard to have like body forms and like all these like fancy things. You can make body forms out of tape.
Yep.
Basically, you just get a t-shirt, you tape around it, you get your body shape, you cut out the middle, and then you stuff it and tape it all up, and you have your own personal body form. It's constructed to just you. So it makes it easier if you need that to base it off of. Say you can't always put on the items while you're sewing it. Do it a lot for this one because he's not always home when I'm doing the sewing.
And if I am, it's like stand up, put this on. Oh, be careful, there are pins in it. Thanks.
Ow, ow, ow,
Thanks.
ow, ow. But yeah, there's easier ways to get around things. You can always look up on the computer for tips of like embroidering. You can use puff paint and then embroider over it, and it makes it easier, and it also can be washed too. It's not going to spread, it's not going to peel off, so it makes it easier if you're doing any type of embroidery. Like stencils, like how he was kind of saying about doing the flopping back and forth, stenciling with a, they have like a fabric chalk, or you can even do it with a pencil if you don't want to go and buy a bunch of like fabric chalk. Very light with a pencil, and it gives you where you need to sew, or you can hot glue, or they have this wonderful, wonderful cheat that I call it at Walmart, and it's called Liquid Stitch. And it's the most amazing thing if you need just these little things kind of glued on, and it holds very well. We wash things with it, and it doesn't come off, so.
Absolutely. I actually work over at Joann's, and we sell it too.
Yeah.
It's
Liquid
crazy,
Stitch is
right?
amazing.
You sell it at...
I work over at Joann's. I work
Okay, so
over...
you sell it at Giant. See,
Yep.
we can never find it at Giant.
I found it once.
Yeah, like it's so hard to find, and it's because we usually need it near a con, and everywhere sells out of liquid stitch. We're like, really?
Make sure you go out, like say you have a con coming up, and right now it's like 6 months away. It's best to get your stuff going 6 months ahead of time, because you don't want to be like us and like 2 weeks before the con go, oh crud, I didn't make this, and like hurrying it up and trying to get it out, because we miss things, you skip over things, you cut corners.
Procrastinating.
Another thing is like on edges, because a lot of these fabrics, if you don't cover the edges, like even if you just fold it over once, that's fine, and sew it, it will give you that soft edge and it won't peel too much. I used to do that a lot when I first started cosplays. I would sew and just like leave raw edges pretty close to the seam, so then it would like start peeling and you start seeing it go everywhere. Just kind of fold it in and pin it, and then you can sew across, and then it'll look great. And you can also double face things too. So if you don't want to show any edges, you basically, you turn the edge, you sew, and you make 2 of them and put them together. Yeah.
So going off that sewing, how hard is it to sew spandex, and where can I find some?
You can actually find spandex at Joann's.
I have the
If you're
supplies.
just looking for
Yeah.
like the sheets of spandex, you can. It is actually challenging with spandex because it's constantly stretching.
It's always elastic.
When you're sewing it, you don't necessarily want to stretch it out, because then it becomes longer and it starts making it wonky. So you kind of have to like keep going with it. I know I've made the mistake of planting my hands down during it, and like it just
See how
continuing
powerful
on.
Sonata is?
And
You
I'd
want
be
to sit
like,
at the table
okay,
then.
this it's looking good, and then I'd finish it and it'd be like all the way down the side. So just kind of go with the fabric, try not to stretch it out or pull it.
Okay.
Just be gentle
But
with
yeah,
it.
you
Be
be
gentle with it,
gentle
right?
with it. You can find it at Joann's. You can also find clothes to alter. So if you like go to Walmart or Savers, or even some Halloween stores will have some spandex things. Like if you're doing it for underclothing, you can get it and you can alter it, cut it up, and sew it, and pretty much go from there. So not too bad, but it is kind of a difficult
It's a
fabric
challenge one, right?
to go with. It's temperamental. I'll say that. Very
Yeah,
temperamental.
always buy an extra yard of her.
Yeah, just to get, well, with
always buy
anything,
little
always
extra-
buy an extra, yeah.
Because you want to have that leeway. If something does go wrong, you want to have that little leeway of, hey, I have extra. I know what I did wrong on this one. Okay, I can fix it on this.
Real fast, hello to all the new people who came in. We're actually going around asking what what people's next cosplay is going to be. I'm sorry if I'm not going to include the new people that have just come in, just because we only have like 7 minutes left on this panel. But let's go with you. Go with you. No, me? Yeah, go with you.
came here to get more insight on what cosplay is.
Oh, okay. I was like, I just came here for a nap.
Cosplay
Okay, I just came here
is
for a
fun and
nap.
amazing. You should totally do it.
I definitely say, see, I used to be the same way. See, the first con I ever went to was actually Anime Expo. And I got dragged along and I'm like, I'm gonna hate this. I'm gonna hate this. And I didn't go in costume. And I think it was like the second or third day, someone convinced me to go in a costume, right? It was a very, very basic. It was a basic Sasuke. And I did it with my own hair, and it came out terribly. But I had one really cool picture with this really good Naruto. And a couple of people took photos, and I'm like, oh, I love this. This is great. I found a calling, right? And I'll never forget that Naruto. That is what made me start cosplaying. So I think that's what made me stick with Naruto, because it's like, oh, inspiration.
Yeah, the first time I ever cosplayed as No-Face, I walked into the con floor. Here at SNAFU con, actually, 2 years ago. I walked into the con floor, and literally, I think it was about 15 people all ran at me, trying to get photos of me at once.
Crazy, right?
Literally, the moment I walked through the doors, that thing on.
So anyway, I'm sorry didn't get to everyone, but we're gonna have to wrap it up right here. We've flown across with all these fantastic cosplay ideas and stories.
I wish we had
like
longer.
Well,
that's for next time.
we
Next
technically do. We do have another panel in like a couple of minutes.
And
And
it's cosplay story time.
Yeah, so this is going to be cosplay story time. So the next one's going to be a little bit more fun. We can have a lot more fun with that. But yeah, so if you want to stay with that, feel free. Sit down, relax, enjoy. If you have something else, also you can always pop back in again. That's definitely a panel you can keep popping in. But again, thank you for everyone coming to this panel. It's
Thank
been
you guys so much.
amazing meeting everyone and hearing such great stories and different techniques.
I'm
What
gonna take
materials
bits and
people
pieces
like.
home
Take
and
bits
I'm
and
gonna be
pieces.
like,
Yes. See, this
I
is
get
how
to
we
use
get.
this.
See, this is how we get our material. Alright.